Hi, snooker fan.
Live then, is it?
It's Facebook Live, mate. You see, look, he's interrupting me already, guys, mate. Do you know what I mean? Right, hi, snooker fans. Curtis Braithwaite here for Dafasnooker.com. I'm with the main man himself, Super Slick WC, after his 13-6 victory over Zhao Guodong. Pal, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
What were your thoughts on the match then, mate? Because that's a 12 breaks over 50 plus a century, scoring well, playing well.
Yeah, I felt okay. I mean, up into the last session, I didn't feel as though I played fantastic snooker, but I didn't feel as though I played that poor either. I thought, like you say, most of the time I capitalised on Zhao's mistakes. Nicked a couple of big frames from 40 or 50 behind with good clearances, and that's probably the difference between the match, really. Yesterday's session came out of it 4-4, but Zhao played really well, had a little bit of run of the ball as well, so to still keep that 4-frame lead was good.
Absolutely, pal. You now face the winner of Fu or Robertson. Any opinions on that match? Any opinions you'd like to play?
No, not really. Whoever I play, it's going to be a tough game. Both great players. 8-all at the moment, still can go either way. Mark has had a good season this year, played really well. Neil's not had such a good season, but obviously we all know what a class player he is.
Any of the boys coming up for the start of your match tomorrow? Any shared here, any of the boys, the local lads?
I don't think so tomorrow afternoon. I think a lot of them back at work, so I think I play tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, so possibly Wednesday night.
Yeah, and also great stuff to see your main man Bobby Lee back with you as well. He's a top lad, isn't he?
Yeah, great kid. Yeah, obviously he's had a bit of a rough time of it of late, so yeah, it was nice for him to come over. I mean, it was over for the UK, I had to rush back home through obviously difficult reasons, but yeah, he's sort of coming back to himself, and good to have him over again.
I mean, other than the Masters fee this year, I mean, it's been a great year for you when it comes to the massive tournaments, isn't it? I mean, success in the UK, success in the international as well, plus the China. It's been a really good season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. Definitely my best season to date. Coming here, winning four events. To win one event nowadays is a good achievement. So to win 4 is unbelievable, really, in this standard at the moment we're playing in. So yeah, confident coming into the World Championships, and don't feel as though I've peaked just yet, too early. But I mean, at the same time, that's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a strange one for you, isn't it? Because like over the last couple of years, the start of the tournaments have been a bit ropey for you, isn't it? Obviously, you had that tough game at the time with Michael White, and really close. Year before with Curtin, you know, we're really close. I mean, this year's been a bit different with Fergal. No disrespect, it wasn't really a close game, was it?
No.
And again with Guodong yesterday, like you just powered through the match, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean with Fergal, I mean obviously he's won the 3 matches to come through qualifying, and then finished late Wednesday night, and then he's back on again Saturday morning. So he's not really had time to sort of enjoy qualifying for the Crucible as such. And as you say, first game on, there's always a little bit of nerves, and I think he showed that a little bit in the first session. He had a couple of chances early doors, didn't really do anything, and I got off to a decent start. And very similar to the game against Zhao, I got off to a good start, 6-2 lead, and then just managed to maintain that.
Right, pal. So like I did say, you're playing Fu or Robertson tomorrow. What are your plans for like tonight and between now and your match?
Yeah, I'll probably just go and get some food, come back here later on, have probably an hour's practice, hit a few balls, get an early night, probably watch a little bit of Mark O'Neill, see how it goes, and then yeah, early night and prepare for tomorrow.
I suppose you'll be sitting there tonight hoping it goes 12-12 to the black, mate, and all the drama.
It was about 4 in the morning, I'm hoping for.
Just comment on the hair, mate. It's looking smooth these days, mate. Growing it a bit longer again.
Well, I'm growing it a bit longer. I'm getting older now, so I ain't gonna have it forever, you know. So while I've still got it, try and grow it a bit more.
Different class, pal. Now, Mark, I've given the fans some chances to ask you a few questions and just quiz you on a couple of things. Nothing rude. Got people still writing in now as we speak. But actually, the first question is from the World Amateur Champion himself, Sohail Fahedi.
Okay.
He's from Iran.
Yeah.
Good friend of Hossein. He asks, what's the reason for your head movement before you play your shot?
I don't really know, because it's not something which I started doing from when I first was an amateur and a young junior. I never really used to do it. I think it's just something like a bad habit which I've got into over the last few years. When I'm actually down on the shot, I don't physically feel myself moving as what you guys see. So, but I think the main thing is when I actually on the backswing and strike the ball, I'm still, which is the most important thing, you know.
Good man. Now your cheeky mate Tom Sheardage just written in and said, wasn't grey denim in fashion in the 80s?
He is an idiot, isn't he? That's all I can say. He's an idiot.
Sheardy, nice one, mate. Kelvin Platten asks, who do you practice with the most?
A few players really. Michael Holt a little bit, is only down the road in Nottingham. Kyron Wilson's about 30 minutes away. Joe Perry, people like that. So yeah, I've got a few options. I'm quite fortunate because being in the Midlands, nowhere's too far away.
A guy called Liam Saunders has asked, what's the spec of your cue?
Spec on my cue, just standard length, 58 inches, Stanford, Stanford cue makers, I think it's 9.1 millimetres, and it's about 17.5, 18 ounce.
Well, there you go, Liam. He's broke it down for you nicely there, pal. Matthew Lester asks, have you got any superstitions before you play?
Not really superstitions. I mean, if anything, I always try and get half-hour practice before I go out to play the match. And then, no matter how I'm playing in the match, I always go to the practice table at the interval, whether I'm feeling really good flying, or even if I'm struggling, I'll go back there. So, if I had any superstitions, probably just that, just probably always going on the practice table before and during.
Good man. Now, Tony Ward asks, what needs to be done to improve youth development where snooker's concerned in this country?
Yeah, it's difficult because, I mean, the professional level is probably as good as it's ever been, but as you say, the grassroots level, especially in the UK and even Europe, is not really that strong. So I think it's just down to people like myself and the other top players on the tour just trying to go around the country and promote it. I mean, people like this Chris Lovell, who's doing the Paul Hunter Foundation, is fantastic. He's going into schools, promoting it, going into snooker clubs around the country, and putting these junior academies on, which obviously kids can attend to. So I think people like that is great, and probably need more of it from, like I say, input from myself and the other players.
Alright, a guy called Mike Hunt has wrote in and asked, what's your proudest moment?
Would have to be winning the World Championships, I think, becoming World Champion for the first time in 2014. And beating O'Sullivan in the final as well. If I could pick somebody to play in the final and to come out on top, it would have to be Ronnie, so it would have to be that moment.
I mean, to be fair to you, pal, what an achievement is. I mean, 3 Triple Crown wins are actually against Ronnie in finals, wasn't they?
Yeah, I mean, having played him in the World Final and won, as you say, I managed to beat him in the 3 main finals in the Masters, UK and the World, so yeah, great feeling.
Young Ronnie Sullivan, which is actually nicely named, who plays in calls and actually plays in our club, has asked, how do you keep your head strong in important matches?
You just try and just reflect back on the matches where you played really well, or if it goes close, try and think back to matches where you won deciding frame and how you was feeling back then, and just try and replicate them kind of positive feelings and just keep thinking back. Try and erase all the negative thoughts out of your head, what's ever gone on in that match at that moment, and just try and look back at the other matches, as I say, like whether it's you've played Higgins and won, or whether you played O'Sullivan and won and played really well, and just try and reflect back on how you felt in them games and try and replicate that in the match you're playing on.
Good man. Barry Stephen also asks, what were you like at school?
What was I like at school? Well, when I went, not really the brightest at school. I mean, I'm not really the brightest now, so yeah, I mean, I went to school quite a bit. I didn't go the very last year, I didn't go at all for the very last year. One of my PE teachers used to play a little bit of snooker himself. He put a word in for me to get taught at home. The teachers were setting the work. Sometimes I was doing it, sometimes I wasn't. But yeah, didn't take no exams at the end of school, obviously to try and concentrate on snooker. So luckily enough for me, I managed to break through and make a career out of playing snooker. If I didn't, I don't know what I'd do. I've got no qualifications to fall back on, so I'd probably be still signing on or something now.
Wow, good man. Alex from Denmark asks, what's it like being world champion and world number 1, and what keeps you hungry?
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling, something I've always strived to try and achieve as a professional, to become world champion, world number 1. Now I've managed to achieve them and know that feeling. It's a fantastic feeling. It makes you want to try and do that again. So my aim is to try and become world champion again if I can do, and also just try and stay number 1 as long as possible. Good
man. Now guys, I'm going to have Mark for a couple more minutes. You can fire your questions in while he actually answers my question. Mark, I want your top 10 players of all time, preferably in order.
Don't do this to me. Top 10 players of all time. Right. I'll tell you, number 1, Stephen Hendry.
Okay.
Stephen Hendry, number 1. O'Sullivan 2. Davis 3. Higgins 4. Reardon 5. Robertson 6. Murphy 7. Ding 8. Oh, it's getting tough. Ding 8. Still got another 8 to name, haven't I? That's unbelievable. Ding 8. Well, you top 10 you said, didn't you?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Still the top 10, mate.
Ding 8. And then I'd go... Oh. You could have given me time to think about it as well and put me on the spot. Ding 8.
You got Robbo, you got Smurf.
I've got Robbo, I've got Smurf. Jesus, I'm still trying to think.
Yeah, see, that's a good journalist. That you always find one that nails them, mate. One question that nails them.
If you'd given me 5 minutes before, I'd have been all right.
I mean, Mark, you take your time. We're only supposed to be going for dinner at 6:30.
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think of everyone was on the front row. Didn't eight. Jimmy and Alex.
Jimmy and Alex, alright. So I've got a guy just written here. He said Chris Wakeling's gone. Mark Williams not in the top 8 then.
Mark Williams, yeah. Yeah, could be, but obviously, like, because I get on with him quite well and he's a bit of a muppet, I won't even put him in, you know.
You see, Chris, anyway, Chris, you got a chance to answer this one.
Funnily enough, I forgot about Chris actually, he could have been in 9.
Nah, not happening, mate, not happening. Right, guys, like I said, you've got a minute or two left. Mark, just touching on your beloved Leicester. Great effort against Atletico in the week, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah, fantastic. Me and Bobby managed to go, which was great. Great atmosphere up until they scored after about 26 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic effort, as you say. Second half played really well, gave it a real good go, but just a little bit too far. I think Atletico were too good.
Yeah. What's your opinions like on the new manager, man? The revival that's happened at Leicester. I mean, what does that say about the relationship they had with Ranieri? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened back behind closed doors, but I mean, Shakespeare, I mean, he's been there for many years, come and gone. He left with Nigel Pearson when he went to Hull, come back with Nigel Pearson. So he obviously knows the club very well, knows the players like the back of his hand, and I'm happy for him that they gave him a chance, you know, and he's turned it around and seems to be playing very similar to what they did last year. And if it was for me, I'd be very disappointed if they didn't give him a job full time.
Right, guys, so we've had enough of Mark's time now because we actually have got a dinner appointment at 6:30. You know I don't like to miss those, as Mark knows as well. But all of us at Dafasnooker.com, Mark, want to wish you the very best for your match against Phil Robertson, and cheers for the time, pal.
Cheers, mate, no problem.
Thank you, mate.